Baby Killer Hood. Hi. Hi, Baby Killer Hood. Dark Fighter. Hey, Dark Fighter. Hey, the Beam. Hey, Peter, what's going on? Let's join with. Hello, bro.
Oh, what up, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. What's going on, Peter?
Man, nothing much, man. I'm tired because I finished practice like 30 minutes
Uh
ago, so I'm like,
huh. Okay, no problem. So, first of all, thank you so much, Peter, for coming and joining us, man. That really means a lot.
no problem at all, man. No problem at all. It's my pleasure.
Okay, so Peter, before we go ahead with this, I have one personal question, man. So, the virus has affected the whole world. So, what the situation is in your country, man?
In our country, man, it's really getting better. Like,
Mm-hmm.
actually, we're going back to normal. Like, we were on lockdown for let me say, almost about a month. And
Uh-huh.
now everybody is like slowly going back to work. We just only have to wear our mask like in public spaces where there's a lot of traffic, like when we go into shops or in the
Okay.
bus or that kind of stuff. But other than that, bro, we're almost going back to normal. Like even we just had a session on Sunday, but it's like
Uh-huh.
only allowed to be like 10 people at the same time in one space. So, but other than that, man, we're doing good out here. We're doing really good,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, that's really good, man. I'm really excited for this.
Me too, man.
Yeah. Okay. So, with your permission, can we go ahead with this session? I have a couple
Yeah,
of questions with you.
no
So,
problem, man.
okay.
Go ahead, man. I'm in.
Okay. So my first question is how did you started your career in dance?
Um, like it all started like, bro, in really, I started very late with dancing, very, very late. It was like in 2008. I heard
Okay.
about Crump and I just started it with my best friend, bro. Fellowship. We just started dancing, and I
Mhm.
didn't take dancing serious till like 2011. So as
Mhm.
from there, I really started practicing, like putting a lot of work in, and like really a career. We can say it started like
Yeah.
since 2016, man. Since 2016, like really a
Okay.
career, me doing some bigger stuff. So it isn't too long ago, man.
Okay. Like it's a really good, man. So who inspires you for the dance? Like your style, Krim.
Really, the creators of Chrome, Tadas and Big Miho, like they inspire me the most because it's like the creators of this dance are still alive, so and they're actively dancing, doing stuff, so it's like always inspiring because Crump is still growing, because with our creators being there and having a lot of innovators, it is like possible to always see new stuff. And then I'm like always
Yeah.
inspired like by my crew, by the people around me, and
Yeah.
like by my OGs, and any dancer that I see, because
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of dancer. I don't like to only see my favorite dancer. I love to watch people who just started dance, because at the end of the day, like I've been dancing now like for almost 12 years. And
Okay.
sometimes you forget why you're doing it. So sometimes it's just like today, to be honest, I didn't want to practice. I didn't want to practice. I just practice because I have to practice. And
Practice. Yeah.
there are other people who would put on music and just dance for like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours just because of enjoyment. And I'm like, bro, I only danced 1 hour because I had to. So those kind of people that really inspire me. So new up and coming dancers, I
Okay.
love to watch them, man.
Okay. That's really good, man. You dance for improving your skills by day, right?
Excuse me?
So I have a next question as what do you know about hip hop?
About hip hop?
Yeah, what do you know about hip hop? Can you tell us about something about hip hop? Like in like, what do you know about your style, and what do you know about hip hop?
Let me say, like, when it comes to Crump, you know, like Crump is like
Uh-huh.
the little brother of hip hop, man.
Uh-huh.
Many, like, we Crumper, we like to say Crump is not hip hop. It is not hip
Mm-hmm.
hop because, like, we have our own culture, like our own music, our own
Okay.
style of how we dress and all this kind of stuff. But like Crump is the little brother of hip hop because at the end of the day, Tadas and Miho, they got inspired by, you know, Busta Rhymes.
What's the line? Yeah, I heard of
Yeah,
it.
you know, and before they were clown dancers they were dancers of Tommy the Clown. Tommy the
Uh-huh.
Clown and his hip hop clowns, like they were dancing hip hop before.
Uh-huh.
So, and they transitioned. So for me, like hip hop is a big part of Crump because it's like our older brother. Like we can look, if we look at hip hop, we can kind of
Yeah.
see which way Crump is going. And there's a
Okay.
lot of hip hop that is around me, like many dancers. Like we have a lot of great dancers here in my city and in my area. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always great to see that. So, but other than that, man, I'm not really into hip hop dancing. I'm more into the hip hop
Okay.
style of music. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, the first hip hop music that I heard, you remember the album of 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying?
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
heard that.
bro, that was the first hip hop music that I heard in my life, and I loved it from the first second, man. Like even till today, the movie Get Rich or Die Trying, bro. I'm watching it before every event. When I'm nervous before a competition, I watch Get Rich or Die Trying. So I've watched that movie like over
uh,
100 times.
like I'm also a fan of a 50 Cents. Like I'm also a rapper,
Oh,
so
dope,
that's why
dope,
he
dope.
inspires me. Yeah. So my second question is like you have a crew, which name
Yeah.
is which name is one like Sideway crew. So how you
Yes.
guys met each other?
Sideway Crew, man. It's like the people I first started with dance. Our crew name before was Circus Crew. We were called
Uh
Circus
huh.
Crew. It's like some of the best dancers of my town. Because one
Uh
day I
huh.
was like, because you know, everybody is separated. We have the b-boys, we have the poppin dancers, we have the crump dancers. Like because dancing in Germany is so huge that every
Mhm.
style of dance has its own environment. Like we're not dependent on each other, you know. Like the house
Yeah.
dancers, they have their own sessions, their own events. We crump dancer have our own session and events. But
Okay.
so I was like, man, I need to come together with my with the dancers of my city because at
Uh
the end
huh.
of the day, it is hard to really start a scene, like a big dancing scene, if you're doing it all by yourself. So I said, me and the best dancers of my city, we got to get together, sit
Uh
at
huh.
one table. So we opened up the circus crew. And as some
Mhm.
time went on, some people stopped dancing. And you know how it is, man. People get
Yeah.
older. They have other goals in life that they want to do. So then we
Yeah.
split up, and I said, I don't want to continue the name because it's its own legacy. So I said, let
Yeah.
me do something new, and I called it the Sideway Crew. So that's how we got
Okay.
together.
So that's great, man. So like how you guys met each other? Like how many members in your crew has?
Right now in the Sideway Crew, we're like 6 people, and we're still
Uh
looking
huh.
to recruit new people.
Uh
Um,
huh.
and most of them, like I knew them from different kind
Mhm.
of situations. Like there's one dancer in my crew. His name is Al.
Uh
Like
huh.
we just met in the streets. Like a mutual friend of mine
Uh
and
huh.
him said, "Yeah, I know a crew. Let's battle each other." So he wanted me
Okay.
and Al to battle. So I
Uh
was
huh.
like, man, who is this guy? I've never heard of him. So I met Al, and we were actually supposed to battle, but me and him, we started talking, and I was like, man, this guy is kind of cool. And he was like, yeah, man, you too. So we actually
Uh
became friends. We never battled, but we just became
huh.
close friends. So he's in the crew, and the rest of them is like almost the same, different story. Like we met through dance, but it became
Uh huh.
more a friendship that went beyond dancing, way beyond dancing.
Yeah, that's really great, man. That story is quite of like interesting. So, I have a third question as, what is your daily rotation in your life?
Oh man,
What, yeah,
it's pretty. You mean my how I go about my day, like my schedule?
yeah, what is your daily routine in your life?
Oh, bro, my life is pretty simple. Like I wake up every morning at 3 o'clock
Uh-huh.
because I have to work at 4 o'clock. I work at UPS,
Oh,
and so I work from from 4 o'clock in the morning to like 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning. It depends how much stuff we got to do so on the day. So from there,
uh-huh.
I head home, and like mostly I start my first practice of the day. I start my first
Okay.
practice because I have a sickness. It's called rheumatism. I have problem
Oh,
with my joints, with my knees, legs, and elbows.
oh,
So it's like so sometimes my body, I really have problem to really get into the day. So I
okay.
use my first practice to really get my body warmed up.
Warm.
Then I do
Okay.
other stuff so that later when I go to practice, that I'm like really
Mm-hmm.
feeling good to head into practice. Because I always try to practice early, because if I don't feel good when the day
Mm-hmm.
continues, then I don't skip practice. If I already know in the morning I'm not feeling good for practice, then I'll push it to the evening. So,
Yeah.
and that's most of the time how my day looks like. I practice every day,
Uh-huh.
and because I don't have really big much interest, man. I just love dancing and watching
Yeah.
Netflix shows, man. That's all.
Okay. So, okay, so that's great, man. Like, I hope you feel good. So, man, like, I have a fourth question as, does your family support you with your work?
At the beginning, no, but now yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because my family, like, because I'm half German and I'm half Nigerian, and
Oh,
so and both sides of my family, like the German side of my family is very artistic. Like one of my uncles, he's a jazz musician. He's living doing jazz music.
okay.
My other uncle, he's a rock musician and also living from music. And
Uh-huh.
and my father and my mother, they're very into academics. Like my mom is a teacher and was a math teacher. So all
Oh,
of them were like, yeah, you can
uh-huh.
do art, you can do something like dancing,
Uh-huh.
but you have to take it like really serious. So at the time I wasn't
Yeah.
really taking it serious. It was just to like
Yeah.
overcome some time. So it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
many support. So it was like, yo, concentrate on your studies, concentrate on school. And
Okay.
it was very hard because also they didn't really wanted me to go deep into dancing, because I was in the hospital for a long time, because from the age of
Oh,
12
God.
to like 19, bro, I had to be in the hospital like every holidays and once a week because of my sickness. So my body wasn't
Oh.
really doing well. So they were like, man, you got to calm down, don't be dancing all the time. But when they saw
Mm-hmm.
that it's my passion, they
Uh-huh.
supported me 100, because that's always how it is, man. It's not that they didn't want me to dance, but they said like, you really have to focus. So
Okay.
I had to
So
prove
that's
to
great.
them that I'm really into it.
Yeah. So like you have, I hope like you will be stay fit, like you will be good in sometimes in future. So like man, and what is like what's there? I have a question one more like when you like and when you, like what is the reaction of your family when you said to like I want to do a crumping? So what they said to you?
Excuse me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, now I'm hearing you
I'm
good.
able to hear. Okay, okay. So, sometimes in life we goes with the ups and downs. So, what are the things that motivate you in your life?
Oh, what motivates me?
Yeah.
Um, Let me be honest. Like
Uh-huh.
my biggest motivation is my mindset. You know,
Uh-huh.
because there's one thing in life, bro. It's like people always try to find like, do you know the it's called chivalry. It's like being like an honorable person. They're like, yeah, I want to be a great dancer because I want to change the world and this and that, and they say that to themselves. But most of the time, people, they're not dancing because of that. You know, it's not the real reason. Like, to be honest, why I practice every day is just because I don't want to be a bad dancer. I don't want to lose battles. I want to be great, you know. So I'm not lying to myself. I'm telling myself the truth. And if you tell yourself every day the truth, you'll be able to overcome every obstacle, you know. Because like, even in the time of my sickness, you know, I was mad because I'm like, bro, I'm a good person. Why am I going through this? Why am I being sick? Why am I in the hospital? Because I was even in a wheelchair for some time. And it was even so bad that I lost the sight of my right eye. I got blind on my right eye because of my sickness. So, and I was like, man, why is this happening to me, man? I'm a good person. There's so many people who are doing evil. Why is it not happening to them, you know? But then I said to myself, bro, that's sometimes how life is. There are other people who are way better people than me, but they are having it worse, man. There are people who are great people, but they have no food to eat. Like, they have nothing to drink, no clean water. Bro, and I still have the strength to do something the next day. So I said to myself, man, I just have to work with what I have. I appreciate the little that I have, and I'm going to make it to use. So that's my biggest motivation every day, just being honest to myself. And by the strength of God, everything is possible, man.
That's great, man. Respect to you, man. Respect.
Thanks,
Like,
bro.
it's really great, man. So, I have an next question as what job have you done other than being an artist?
Oh, other job, man. I did some shitty jobs, bro.
Okay.
Because I went to school for a long time, because I went to school for media and communication. And from there, I was just doing one shitty job after another, bro. For some time, I was a media designer. I worked as a media designer. And but I really hated it, because you know, when always people expect some, like, if you have a job offer, like doing like one time I had to do a magazine, and the person, man, he was switching up his mind every time, calling me at any given time. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. So, and it's funny, in like, I'm not the kind of person, I'm not too friendly with people. So that's why I always take jobs where I don't have to directly work with people. Like, I don't do retail or this kind of stuff. I always work like behind the scenes, because, man, I don't want to mess with people too much.
Okay. So here's my next question: is what connection do you have to your art?
Excuse me?
Like, what connection do you have with your art?
How I'm connected to my art?
Yeah.
Boy, that's a very good question, man. That's a very good question. Bro, to be honest, it's just my life, man. It's just my life. It's something that is so it's a part of me. Like, you know, you know, as a dancer, for me, it's like the way I talk, like, you will have a different vocabulary because of dance.
Yes.
Like, even the way you clothe yourself, you know, you want to represent your dance and your art. Like, you will see sometimes if someone is a painter, you will see if someone is a musician, like, his whole lifestyle portrays his art, you know. So, and for me, it's like, that's what Crump is for me, man. It just portrays my whole life. Like, my whole life is like based on Crump. Like even my job, man. I took my job because of Crump, because I want to be able to be teaching and being traveling. So I need a job where I have time. Like today, like right now, it's 4 o'clock here in Germany. Most of the people are at work right now, and I have been at off work for the past 6-7 hours I've been at home because I already work early in the morning. So for me, I always have every day I'm free because I've already worked in the morning. And I just took that job because it's a shitty job, man. I hate it. But I just took it that I can do the dance, man. And that's why. That's my connection to the dance. It drives me. It just shows me the way every time. If I don't know which way I'm going to go, I'm going to look like, where do I want to go with dance? And that will show me the next way, man.
Oh, respect, man. That's really good mindset, man. So, okay, so I have a next question as I saw, you have done many battles, right? So you have a great experience of a battle. So I want to know when you have a call out or someone gives you a call out. So what was that time of your mindset, man? In that moment,
bro,
what do you feel?
bro, I'm a very friendly. I'm a very friendly and polite person. But for me, the first thing is my mindset in battling is, bro, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose in battles. I want to win. Like at the end of the day, I don't hate my opponent or anything. But I want to destroy him. So if someone calls me out, I always ask them, are you serious? Because I'm not going to play around, bro. I'm going to try to destroy you. So that's why sometimes always people think, man, Fellowship is so angry when he battles. I'm like, nah, bro. He gotta die. I'm not gonna die today. So, because, and at the end of the day, it's all love and fun. So, but when someone calls me out, man, bro, I'm always ready to battle. I'm always ready to battle, man. I'm always ready.
That's good, man. So I wanna tell my viewers like Peter is the champion of EBS European Buck Session 2017. Am I correct, man?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So can you tell me about that experience in EBS you have?
Bro, that experience was crazy because it was like 10 years before, you know, in 2008, where I started dancing, was the first European box session.
Oh.
Bro, I didn't
really
know that Crom was so huge in Europe. I only watched America. So I didn't know Crom is huge in Europe. And you know, the European box session is created from Big Wave, my big homie, aka Kid Eyes. He's he and Kofi the Vibe are the creator of the European box session. And I didn't know that the European box session is just one city away from me, just 20 minutes with the train. European box session is there. And so I saw it in the internet. I'm like, damn, they got a whole championship. So I went there and I danced, and I was like, bro, I was scared because everyone was so good, and I was like, oh, I just started dancing just some few weeks ago. I'm like, bro, I'm too afraid to dance. One of my friends, he came with me to the European box session, and he said, bro, I'm not gonna dance. You have to dance. You're the best of us. You have to dance. I'm like, bro, I'm afraid too. I can't dance. So, but I danced that day, bro, and I was so trash, man. I was so ashamed of myself, but I kept on going. So then the 10-year anniversary was actually there where we won the championship with Team Germany. So for me, it was like crazy. I'm like, bro, I went to the first European box session and I was trash, and now I'm going home with the championship belt with Team Germany. That was crazy. And we didn't even have time to practice because the team, we don't all live in the same city. Like me and my partner Trouble, we live in the same city, but the rest of Team Germany, the other three, they live like 5 hours car drive away from us. So we only went there down 2 times. So 2 times we went there and we practiced for like 9 hours that day. We went there early in the morning and we drove back late in the night. So it was a very crazy experience, and I just loved it, man. I just loved it. And it was even better because the people also who I started with in Crom, like they were there too on that day. And so we all celebrated together. But that day sucked because EBS was over at 1 o'clock in the morning. I took the train back home,
Uh-huh.
and I directly had to go to work.
Oh God, man.
So hey man,
Uh-huh.
I felt horrible. Like we just won the
Yeah.
championship, we're world champion, and me, I'm back to work, man, pushing
But
packages. Like,
oh God, man. That's really crazy. Okay, so Peter, I want to know, can you tell me about something about the German culture that you guys have?
you mean the dance culture or Germany in
Yeah,
general?
both of them. Like, yeah.
Um, like the German scene, man, is like it's like really huge. Like to be honest, it's like really huge,
Uh-huh.
and over here we have like many styles and very big events. Like we have very big events over here, and
Okay.
the German dance scene is like very competitive. Like we are
Uh-huh.
very focused on battling. Like when you come to Germany, it's a very battling battle heavy country. Like we have some, and that's how we became so great in dance, because of really iron sharpen iron, you know, like, and a lot
Yeah.
of session and even practices here different. Like, you know, by us there's a split between dance schools and street dance. There was a
Uh-huh.
very huge gap. Like it wasn't really like the most dancers like in the hip hop culture. They didn't learn dance in a dance school, but they learned
Uh-huh.
dancing because, you know, we have like youth centers, like places where youth can go to like play games or just hang out together. And
Okay.
so most of the dancers all met there. Like some of the big international dancers, like I don't know if you know Ben, one of the
Ben,
winners of Just the Boo.
well, like, no, man. Like, I don't know about much dancer about, you
Ah,
know.
okay. So like he's like a
Uh-huh.
very huge international dancer, and people like Flocky,
Okay.
people like
Uh-huh.
Big Wave, you could just meet them at a
Uh-huh.
youth center. Like, you know, like when you meet now, when you sometimes meet famous people, you see famous people, it's like hard to get to them.
Get,
So but by
get to
us here
them.
in
Yeah.
Germany, like some high class dancers, like very famous dancers, bro, we practice at the same spot. Like just
Oh.
small beginners practice with
Uh-huh.
famous people at the same spot. And that's what's dope about Germany. Like for many people, it's like really they're about the culture, like really pushing the next generation. Like so, and
Okay.
one thing that that was before, like before, the German culture, you know, we're very inspired by the American culture. You know, everybody looks
Okay.
at America, like what is trendy in America, what is new in America, what's exciting in America. So we were like always, like the rest of the world, always looking at America. What is America doing? So we copy it, we to do it. But what I like the most like about Germany right now is like we are really trying to build our own culture independent of what America is doing. So it's like
Okay.
a lot of creating is like taking place at the moment or over the past years, and really creating something new and
Uh-huh.
something that is our own. Because before it's like that is one thing I didn't really like about the dance scene in Germany. It's like it didn't have no real identity. You know, it was
Uh-huh.
always the newest trends of America came over here, so we were copying. We were just copying and waiting for the new trend. So right now
Oh.
we're creating our own trends, independent of
Oh.
the rest of the world, and that's what like starting to make us really unique.
Oh, that's great, man. That's really great. Okay. So, Redden, is there any else hobby you have in your life, like you love to do?
Before I love to play soccer, but because of my sickness, I had to stop. So, but
Oh.
usually, bro, I just like to relax and watch TV shows, man. I just love to watch TV
Okay.
shows, man. Because
Uh,
many, because the thing is of dancing, I'm always outside, so I just like to be to myself because you know how it is when you're around people. You get a lot of different energy, a lot of different mindsets. So, and sometimes one thing I'm gonna be honest about, I'm afraid of taking the mindset of other people and not thinking for myself. So I like to be by myself for the most of the time, because then I know the thoughts are my thoughts, you know. So I try to reflect a lot, because when you're always with other people, other people's opinion, sometimes they get into your brain and you start copying other people. So also that's the same when I'm dancing, man. I try to not look at too much videos. Like I always usually take Fridays. Usually on Fridays, I look a lot of videos, but most of the week I don't, because I just want to be original.
Oh, that's really good, man. Like you are creating your own style, like that people can get you. Okay, so like my next question is like, tell your 5 favorite artists that you have to collaborate with in future.
Excuse me?
Like, tell me your 5 favorite artists that you have to make a collaborate with.
Oh, my favorite artist, man. That's Oh man, that's hard. Man, you're killing me with this question. Now my brain is working. Artist and oh my God.
Don't worry, man. Take your time. Man.
To be honest, 50 Cent, man, because he inspired me to come into hip hop. So first of all, it has to be 50 Cent, man. Second of all, I would like to do a collaboration with some of my favorite dancers, you know, the people that inspire me the most in this dance. Like some people like Big Wave, like Grishka, like Chosen, like Twin Theory, like some of those people, like who are in Crump, who really had a big influence on me. Like I would love to collaborate with them, because in Crump it's always easy to battle your favorite opponent. You just go to an event, call them out, and you can battle them. But I would like to do a collaboration with some of my favorite people, and then with artists. I forgot it. I forgot her name. There's one famous. She's a painter. I forgot her name, man. I just love her work. I love her work, man. I would do something like a collaboration like that. I don't know how, but something like that.
Okay, no, man. Like, good. Okay, so like, I have another question. As what's your dream project in the future? You have to do.
My big project. The biggest project that I have as my ultimate goal is I want to do a dance, I want to do a dance agency. I want to build a dance agency, but not like a regular agency. It should be like an agency and school. I want to like take students in where they learn like the many different street dance styles, like crump, like hip hop. I want them to learn b-boying. I want them to learn house and all those kind of dances. And at the same time, I want them to learn like modeling. I want them to learn like all different kind of stuff that can help them in the artist industry. So because a lot of my friends, I have a lot of friends who do different kind of work. So with that agency, I could put all my people together, because I have like people who model as a living, so they could teach them how to model, and then we can, and that's how I would love to build up the agency, you know. So it should be like an agency and at the same time like a business school, you know. So
Oh, that's good, man. Okay, so like I have a part of this question. I have one personal question now. Like, can you share about, like, can you share your some childhood memory that you love?
Childhood memory that was great to me, or what?
No, it's will be kind of. It's
Excuse
kind
me?
of like it's in kind of like you want to share with us, like you love that memory.
Um, that memory in my childhood.
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, I got one. I got one.
Okay.
I love to think about that because I'm a very godly person. Like I believe in God, and
Uh-huh.
there was one moment, at the beginning, my mom is a pastor. Like she's a pastor, and
Mm-hmm.
so I've been going to church my whole entire life. But I went to
Okay.
church because I have to, because my mom is a pastor,
Uh-huh.
so I have to go to church. So, and
Okay.
there was the time where I was really sick. Like I was like 13. I was like 13 years old. I wasn't good, bro. I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't really move my body. I could do nothing on my own. Like I could do nothing on my own, and I was very depressed because
Oh.
everyone like around me, all my friends, like all of them, they're going on vacation. They're going
Mm-hmm.
further in life, and I'm like, I don't know how my future is gonna be. So,
Okay.
and there was one day, um, some friends of my mom, they lived in
Uh-huh.
Munich. Munich is like a city. It's like with the car, it's like 7, 8 hours away from us. It's like 8 hours away.
Okay.
So they drove all the way from Munich. They drove
Mm.
down here to my city, and they
Uh,
came and they just wanted to pray for me. They just say like they felt in their hearts that they want to pray for me. And I was like, bro, are they crazy? You drove eight
God.
hours just to come here and pray for me, something that you can do on the phone, and you don't
That's
even
really great.
really, and you don't really know me. I don't even know
Yeah.
you. So,
Yeah.
and to be honest, like it was like later, some years later, I really realized that
Uh-huh.
like people, sometimes you don't have to know someone so deeply to have a
Uh-huh.
connection and to care for them. And that is something
Okay.
that got stuck in my heart, that I said to myself, I don't care where
Yeah.
someone is. If someone is in Africa, in India, in Europe, or even directly next to me, I have to show
Yeah.
love regardless. I have to show
Yeah.
love regardless, because that person showed me love, and he
Yeah.
drove back the next day. He didn't stay
Yeah.
overnight or something. He drove back the next day. So, and for me, it's like in that moment I was like, that's
Yeah.
crazy,
That,
man. And it's
that's
not
really.
like, bro, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something I will forever, bro, I will forever carry that in my
Okay.
heart, because that's like
That's really great, man. Like will be
the connection is bad. You have to repeat what you said because of the connection.
okay. So like being honest, man. Like I'm your fan. Like I saw your video, and I was like, man, how the power. Like I really like I really love your style, man. That you call
Thank
out.
you, man.
Yeah. So, man, coming with my last question, I have a. Sorry, like we have a less time of like we're running out of time. So, I have a last question.
Bro,
So, okay. So, what about India? When you will come to India for a workshop?
I don't know. People have to text me and ask me to come, bro,
Uh-huh.
because I saw a lot of the Indian crump movement, because
Uh-huh.
me and my brother Trouble, we judged the online competition like I think 1.5 months ago, and so I
Okay.
saw a lot of Indian crump dances,
Indian crop.
bro, and I really loved it, because what I love about certain movements is like it's pure. The people just
Uh-huh.
love to dance, bro. People just
Yeah.
love to dance, man. That's for me. That's why I would travel everywhere, as
Uh-huh.
long as the people love to dance. Like, because
Yeah.
like how I said, sometimes, bro, I forget why I dance. I just practice because I have to. I dance because I have to.
Yes.
So I love
Right.
to see people who really just dance because of the love of it, because they're like, bro, I just like, I
Yeah.
respect people who like, they have like, some people like the same with you,
Uh-huh.
bro. There's other stuff you could
Okay.
do right now. There's other
Yeah.
stuff you could be doing right now. You could be sleeping. You could be
Sleeping.
practicing. You could do anything. You could be rapping right
Yeah.
now, writing some new
Yeah.
lines. But because of you love what you do, you're taking your
You're doing.
time off to be here.
Yes.
So, and I love it and I respect it. And so anywhere where people
Okay.
like that, bro, I'm ready to be there. I'm ready to be there, man.
Well, respect, man. So I have saw your username. It's a Da Bean, correct?
Yeah,
Is
the
there
beanie, the beanie.
Da Bean? So what's the
Yeah.
reason of its name? Like, what do you think and put this your name?
You know those hats, winter hats.
Uh-huh.
Those hats, they're
Yeah.
called beanies. And
Beanies.
before
Okay.
I only wore beanies. I only wore beanies. So and
Uh-huh.
you know in the internet when you want to make a username, when I want to
Uh-huh.
take fellowship, it's always
Uh-huh.
taken because
Taken.
it's
Okay.
it's a regular name. So I said like let me
Uh-huh.
always use the beanie. So if you see the beanie in the internet, on YouTube, on Facebook,
Uh-huh.
you know it's me. You know it's me.
That's right. That's crazy. Okay. So, man, Peter, like, today, I have done with my question, man. It's a, it's a really, really, we are glad to having with you, and thank you so much, man. Like,
No
it's
problem,
really
bro.
respect you, man. It's
Thank
really
you very
respect
much,
for
man.
me. We loved you, and
Thank you, man.
and
Love you
in
right back, bro.
yeah, it's like in future we love to collaborate with you, and like in I hope we will put a workshop of yours in future.
Definitely,
Like,
we can set that up. We can
yeah,
set that
man.
up, man.
Ta-da.
But man,
Okay.
before we stop talking, because
Uh-huh.
there are some people from my side who are watching.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just
Okay.
please give them an introductory. Like, what is Team United and what are y'all doing? Like, just give them a small
Okay.
summary that
Yeah.
they know what they're dealing
So,
with.
okay, so like all people out there, like we are Team United. Like in our team, like there are 15 to 16 members. Okay, so they have their own styles. Like someone is doing house, and I'm a rapper, and like is in that team, like is a graffiti artist and DJing, and like we represent India, man. And like we
Yo,
have not much biggest crew, but we have a small crew. Like we are exploring more hip hop to like that more people can we can connect with us, we can
yeah,
connect with more people, like like now we joined you, and like we got some bonding of like that's a hip hop, and like your style that connect with us, that's an artist.
yeah.
So that's all, man. Like that's all, and you shout out to my friend Peter, man. Thank you so much, man, for coming.
Thank you
That's
for having me,
really
bro. Thank you very
experience,
much, man.
man. Really great experience with talking with you, man.
Yeah.
Hope we will meet in future soon, man.
Ah, definitely, man. I hope so, man.
Okay, man. So okay,
So,
bro. Today it's good. We
all
are
right.
done
Have a
with the
nice day,
live.
man.
You too, man. Bye. Have a great one. Okay.